I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats.
Martin was comfortable in first place until lap 8. Maverick Vinales and Enea Bastianini followed behind him, while Francesco Bagnaia was fourth. The brilliant action was shown by the 2024 MotoGP rookie rider, Pedro Acosta. He overtook Marc Marquez in fifth and overtook Bagnaia for fourth on lap 9. The position of the riders has not changed much in the last 10 laps. Martin is 0.8 seconds ahead of Vinales in second. Pedro Acosta overtook Bagnaia on lap 20 and moved up to fourth. Pecco was threatened by Marc Marquez for fifth place. Crash. Bagnaia and Marquez touch at turn 2 on lap 22. Both fell to the side of the track. And here's the full news. Jorge Martin dominated the Portugal 2024 MotoGP series. The Pramac racing rider smoked Enea Bastianini and Pedro Acosta. The second MotoGP 2024 series was held in Portugal, to be precise at the Algarve International Circuit Portimao. The race takes place Sunday, March 24, 2024, night WIB. Jorge Martin appeared excellent since he won the first position shortly after the race started. Martin Natter managed to maintain his lead until the race ended. Enea Bastianini is second, followed by Pedro Acosta in P3. Brad Binder, Jack Miller, Marco Bezzecchi, Fabio Quartararo, Aleix Espargaro, Miguel Oliveira and Fabio Di Gianantonio filled the top 10. Francesco Bagnaia and Marc Marquez had bad luck at the 2024 Portugal MotoGP. Both crashed in the final laps before the race was over. Enea Bastianini started the race as pole sitter. Jorge Martin moved from third to first shortly after the green light. The first crash occurred on the second lap. Francesco Morbidelli and Alex Marquez fell off the bike, but were able to get up and continue the race. Martin was comfortable in first place until lap 8. Maverick Vinales and Enea Bastianini followed behind him, while Francesco Bagnaia was fourth. The brilliant action was shown by the 2024 MotoGP rookie rider, Pedro Acosta. He overtook Marc Marquez in fifth and overtook Bagnaia for fourth on lap 9. The position of the riders has not changed much in the last 10 laps. Martin is 0.8 seconds ahead of Vinales in second. Pedro Acosta overtook Bagnaia on lap 20 and moved up to fourth. Pecco was threatened by Marc Marquez for fifth place. Crash. Bagnaia and Marquez touch at turn 2 on lap 22. Both fell to the side of the track. Vinales also experienced bad luck entering the last lap. He crashed and had to exit the race. Jorge Martin remained in first position as he crossed the finish line. Bastianini in P2, followed by Pedro Acosta. In other news, Prima Pramac racing rider Jorge Martin smoothly took victory in the second race of the 2024 Portuguese MotoGP series. Martin dominated throughout the race until he finally touched the finish line first with a time of 41 minutes 18.138 seconds in the race held at the Algarve Circuit, Portimao, Portugal Sunday, March 24, 2023. Enea Bastianini, Ducati Lenovo, and Pedro Acosta, Red Bull Gas Tech 3, completed the podium by finishing second and third respectively. Drama occurred in the last 3 laps when 3 riders experienced bad luck, namely Marc Marquez and Francesco Bagnaia, who touched until Maverick Vinales fell on the last lap. The course of the race. Jorge Martin, who started from third position, managed to secure the leading position since entering turn 1. Behind him was a tight race between 2 Ducati Lenovo riders, Enea Bastianini and Francesco Bagnaia and Maverick Vinales. But Bagnaia made a mistake that made him have to drop to fourth position. The drama occurred on the first lap when Bagnaia was involved in overtaking Marc Marquez. But Bagnaia was still able to maintain his fourth position from the threat of Marquez, who continued to shadow. In the top 3 positions, Martin still led the race, followed by Vinales and Bastianini. Entering the 6th lap, rookie rider Pedro Acosta was suddenly in 6th position after overtaking Brad Binder. Acosta immediately terrorized Marc Marquez to push into the top 5. Sure enough, it didn't take long for Acosta to overtake Marquez on the long straight as he entered the 7th lap. Acosta is now starting to target Bagnaia, who is in 4th position. The two were only 0.2 seconds apart. Acosta's confidence was extraordinary. He had managed to overtake Bagnaia at turn 1. However, Acosta made a mistake which went wide until Bagnaia immediately overtook again. Entering lap 15, the duel was still tight as Acosta continued to follow Bagnaia. Turning to the front row, Martin tried to stay away by starting to open a gap of 0.8 seconds from Vinales. Bastianini, who was in third place, was also quite far from Bagnaia behind him with a gap of 1.8 seconds. With 5 laps remaining, Acosta finally managed to overtake Bagnaia with a clever maneuver at turn 3. Acosta immediately managed to stay away by letting Bagnaia compete closely with Marquez in the last 4 laps. Ducati's nightmare really happened. Marquez, who had passed Bagnaia, actually resulted in disaster at turn 5. Bagnaia, who intended to immediately overtake Marquez, actually nudged him so that both of them had to fall and ended up in the gravel area when the race had 3 laps left. Drama again occurred. Vinales, who almost won the second podium, experienced technical problems on his motorbike until he finally fell after turn 1. The third podium was finally obtained by rookie rider Pedro Acosta. And a little info on the drama between Francesco Bagnaia and Marc Marquez. Francesco Bagnaia and Marc Marquez touched and crashed at the end of the Portugal 2024 MotoGP race. Initially eyeing the top 5, the 2 world champions instead had to end the race without points. Taking place at Portimao on Sunday, 24-3, this incident occurred at turn 5 when the race entered lap 23. Marquez managed to overtake Bagnaia to take 5th position, but Bagnaia again tried to take his place. Bagnaia then took the inside of the corner to overtake Marquez, but Marquez tried to close the lane. This condition made the collision between the two inevitable. Both riders were dragged down to the gravel. The crash left Bagnaia unable to continue the race. Marquez tried to get up and return to the track, but could only finish in 16th position, which meant he got no points. Maverick Vinales was also unlucky. He was second in the race when he was overtaken by Enea Bastianini on the last lap, but after that he went wide and eventually crashed to fail to finish. The third position was then taken by Pedro Acosta to finish. With this result, Bagnaia lost the top position of the standings. He slipped to 4th with 37 points, behind Jorge Martin, 60, Brand Binder, 42, and Bastianini, 39. Meanwhile, Marquez dropped to 6th with 27 points, behind Acosta who has 28 points.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad. After her there ain't no coming back. Wanna take a run at that. I think she's feeling me, turn it up a few degrees.